3, 2, 1. Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Ace Torn.
Yes, sir. You know what time it is. I am the voice of the South. Q Smitty with Polar Joqs. We are the icebreakers giving you the cool rush.
This episode is sponsored by 1186. Drink with a purpose.
Listen, if you want to be an icebreaker, it's free. You can't
99.
be free. Free 99, man. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. We deliver content every single week on Monday and throughout the week on Instagram. So follow us on all the social media platforms because we are the best talk show in the nation. No doubt about it, all right? So today's topic is, tell them, Ace.
The RPM 23 is the ultimate driving machine. Get behind the wheel and experience the RPM 23 today.
The extra sauce on there. Look, man, we got a message. You know what I'm saying? We got a message for everybody out there in the whole entire U.S., goddammit. The legend said it best, you know what I'm saying? Outkast, man. Y'all got to start hating on the South. Like, straight up, nigga. Y'all got to stop hating on the South, man. See, people from up north, and this is the thing, like, people from up north, they come to the South, and they trip about our lingo, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? They trip about our lingo.
The South got something to say, bro.
And they trip on the lingo, but they bite our style. You dig what I'm saying? Like, niggas be buying our style and shit, and they like, go other places and like they create the style. You know, same thing with music. Like, when they come to the South, bro, like, they'll be rapping like New York style, you know what I'm saying, Chicago, you know how they do, you know, but eventually as they stay in the South, they transition to that South. It's just something about that South, man, you know. And I know a lot of niggas gonna say something, especially for the ones up north. They got a lot to say, you know what I'm saying, but it is what it is, the truth, man, you know. Now, I will say New York is the mecca of hip hop. I can't say that. Y'all did start it, you know, but at the same time, it's like, you got to give people the credit.
Yeah.
Even though y'all started it, we got them developed hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We turned it to what it is today. And now I don't agree with everything about how this shit is today because the music ain't real music going on right now. So I'm not gonna vouch for that. But I will vouch for the transition in the culture. The South did that. What you think, dog?
Man, you said some shit right there,
Real
boy.
talk.
Ooh wee. Okay, so check this out, man. Like, I'm always talking to different people from all over the nation, right? West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, down south and stuff like that, man. And every time I'm on Clubhouse or something like that and somebody mentions something about the South and they're not from the South or whatever, they always got something negative to say about the South. Like,
What's the example they say?
for instance, they'll say, I remember one time one lady had the nerve to say some stuff about Alabama, saying like, you know, Alabama doesn't have any highways and stuff like
shit
that.
like that.
Dumb shit like that.
And
Like,
I ain't from Alabama. I'm from Monroe, Georgia. But still,
exactly, bro. They, they feel that way
shit
about
piss me
Georgia
off,
and
bro.
South Carolina, and that shit be pissing me off, bro.
Real
And
talk.
I be like, check this out, man. It's 2023. You have a Google Maps app.
facts.
All you have to do, hey, y'all better sponsor us, Google. All you have to do is go to your Maps app, right? Pull up the map, the U.S. map, and you can literally pick that little dummy, that yellow dummy up and drop that motherfucker in any city or state you want to, or even country that you want to drop it into, and you can literally see the city and state or country for what it truly is because they have people driving around the country and the nation and the world for Google recording videos and pictures of how these places actually look. And so a lot of times, it just kind of frustrates me a little bit, just a little bit. It's not something that I just go crazy about.
Fight over no shit.
Yeah,
like
no
that.
fighting, nothing like that. But like the fact that we grew up in the South, you know what I'm saying? We're going to take it a little personally whenever somebody talks stuff about the South because we see the amazing stuff that happens in the South firsthand. Like when Atlanta took off, we saw how Atlanta took off. You know what I'm saying?
It was legendary.
A legendary takeoff. Atlanta surpassed all of these other cities that they like to put on a pedestal, right?
Right.
Atlanta has transformed in so many different ways over the years to the point where you have other cities being inspired by where Atlanta started. But as soon as these other cities create their genre or their type of sound of music, it's like they get the recognition and praise faster than what they want to give Atlanta.
Right. And that shit crazy. And I ain't gonna lie. So it's kind of like they was waiting on Atlanta to just, you know what I'm saying, just dissolve out.
Right.
Like they couldn't wait till Atlanta just dissolve out, and now they acting like goddamn. Okay, Memphis got shit popping. I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got shit rocking out down there. Also, Mississippi. Can't forget them. Mobile.
Yeah,
you know,
man, Mobile got hitters, man.
they got some real hitters. You know what I'm saying? So, but really like cities in Alabama don't really hate on, you know what I'm saying, what Atlanta did. It's the other cities and shit that be hating on what Atlanta did. Like Texas, same thing. Like niggas be really hating like you know what I'm saying, like Atlanta didn't start this shit. Like
exactly,
like Atlanta
bro.
didn't develop what it is today, you know. So you can't keep shitting on Atlanta. And a lot of people say Atlanta dead now. Atlanta dead.
Exactly,
Like
man.
Atlanta, man, they say so many, like you said, they say so many negative things about Atlanta, and it's crazy because without that era or without that transition, that culture in that city, none of this shit wouldn't be like it is. Like a lot of artists wouldn't even had the ability to break through the door.
Right.
If it wasn't for the Atlanta sound.
Exactly.
You know
Here's the thing, man. All right, so when it comes to the South, Atlanta, Florida, Memphis, I would say those are like the three main, like, you know, if you had like a Mount Rushmore of like the cities and states that really put on for the South for hip hop, I would name those three right there, right? And the reason why I say that is because those three cities found a way to reach the ears not only of people from the South, but reach the ears of people outside the South, and carry it for a long time. For instance, like Memphis started the crunk music thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody can get crunk, you know, wherever you from. No matter where you're from, people get crunk. People go to bars, they go to clubs, they fight, they turn up, they have a good time. Atlanta came through. They started off, you know, with, you know, some of that bounce sound in the early 90s. Then they came with the smooth groove, funky
shit.
sound, that player shit, you know, with the Outkast, the Goody Mob, Dungeon Family. Shout out to the Dungeon Family. Then, you know, they transitioned over the years to, you know, making crunk music with Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Can't forget them.
Can't forget Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Then you transition over to the White Tee era. You got them Franchise Boys, the Snap Music era.
Snap music.
You got everybody in the world rocking white tees and snapping their fingers, doing their step because of ATL. And then they transition over to some more shit with like Young Thug, Future, all of the heavy hitters, Young Nudie that have been coming out, man. It's like Atlanta has surpassed them. And then you got Florida, they started off with the twerking music. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Luke and them. They came
well
out.
known, like shit.
They
well known for that, you know what I'm saying?
Well known.
So
They
can't
were
nobody
really
take that
cute.
crown for them from starting that twerking shit. Like they really
You can't take that away from
real
Uncle
talk,
Luke, bro. Like
they set the tone for that. So
they were ridiculed for that in the beginning, bro. And now
from the
look
jump.
look at the world now. The
from the jump, bro.
The whole America is twerking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Popping
Even
cooter
the
on the
dudes.
handstand. You know what I'm saying?
you ain't even got the dudes doing this shit.
And the reason why I'm saying all this stuff is because the South always found a way to evolve musically, whereas a lot of other places, like for instance, you know, I respect all cities, all states. This ain't no diss, but this is keeping it real. This is ice-breaking facts right here. So you got New York City, right? New York City came out, they started doing their boogie down thing. They started the hip-hop shit or whatever. But nigga, y'all ride on subway trains. We don't even got no damn sub. The MARTA about to fall off the rails anytime soon, bro.
Real shit,
We ain't got no subway stations and trains and stuff like that down here, so we can't relate to that.
No.
Crips and Bloods in LA, man. Like LA did their thing with the gang banging music, the G-Funk era and stuff like that. But
West Coast.
that stuff can last for only so long. People outgrow gangs. People outgrow that type of culture. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to constantly have to feel like their life is in danger whenever they want to listen to some music, you know, because somebody want to twist their fingers and crip walk and blood walk and all this stuff like that. So the South made hip hop more fun. Like it brought the fun element back to hip hop. New York started off with a fun element with the break dancing and all of the different stuff.
Then it actually went into that, but it started off with that, but it transitioned to the gun banging shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's when the whole industry and shit started just getting wicked. Cause it was a fun time in hip hop at one point in time.
Yeah.
And I will say it started when Atlanta took over the era. The shit started being fun, bro. And then somebody else took the wheel and shit started getting back wicked. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like start gang banging and shit. Then you talk about drugs and all this and that, and then it just the fun era just left. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it just demolished. Like it wasn't even fun no more. Then it turned into the mugging and shit in the club.
Yeah,
Looking at each other
man.
crazy as hell all night. No dudes dance. All the women dancing. Now it transitioned to all the women dancing. A dude better not dare get behind a woman and try to get on her and dance. She gonna look at his ass like he crazy. And it's an angle. I hate to cuss, man, but this a fucked up era. You to
Yeah,
do that.
that's right.
Because if you're going out and have fun, I ain't saying you gotta dance on every single girl that's dancing, but it was a time where a woman was dancing and having a good time. You can actually just walk up to her and dance with her. Yeah,
Better hope
shit
she don't damn reject your ass when she turn around.
Dog, that was the funnest era it was because it wasn't like even if she didn't like you, she would dance on your ass for like 10 seconds, look at you.
The best
and
feeling.
that was over with. If she wasn't
Man.
feeling you, that was over with. But if she turned around and looked at you and she turned back around and kept dancing, oh, you got her. That was it. And that's
Man.
how you knew, like, okay, yeah, she rocking with me tonight. That's
Those
how
were
you knew
the
that
best
shit, bro. Like,
days
so,
ever, man. Like,
but that took place in the fun era of hip hop, and that's what Atlanta created. You know what I'm saying? The South, I ain't gonna just say Atlanta, but the South created that fun type music where you can go out and have fun. You gotta worry about, you know what I'm saying, get shot up and shit, fights breaking out
Yeah.
every damn weekend. Like, you don't have to worry about that, man. So
I think what happened was we started making the MC and lyrics more important than DJing and dancing. And I think it all started when the West Coast started popping off. When Ice-T came out, people really wanted to hear what Ice-T was talking about. I am a nightmare walking. You know, it's a psychopath talk. Hearing what he got to
wild
say.
shit.
NWA, they talking about Compton in the hood as if it was MTV News or some shit
Right.
like that. People really want to hear what they got to say. And so ever since they came out, people were like, okay, lyrics matter. But then some people started getting it misconstrued, thinking that they were rapping gangster rap. When in reality, they were just rapping what they see every
what they
day
see, reality rap.
and try to get people to, hey, focus on us. This is what is going on over here.
Right.
How can we change this? But then, like I said, people started misconstruing it. And so then that's when I believe the gangster rap started happening. People started wanting to be more gangsterish when they started
Makes
rapping
sense.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you got Uncle Luke who come in and say, hey, man, fuck all that shit, man. We in Miami. We turned up, man. We
having
got
fun.
sexy women down
Yeah,
here.
right,
Like, we,
right.
you know, we barbecue every damn weekend, goddamn, with the
Yeah.
family and shit like that, man. And I feel like that's why the South deserves more respect. Like Chicago drill music, shout out to Chi-Town. Many people who started the drill music scene in Chicago will tell you that they were inspired by Gucci Mane and Waka Flocka and that whole era right there.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
where were Gucci Mane and Waka Flocka at? In Atlanta.
And hey,
And they started that shit. You know what I'm saying? There would be no Chicago drill music for real. I mean, it might be. We don't know. But a lot of times people are inspired by what they hear and they create their own type of channel of what they hear and see. And I feel like Chicago drill music played, you know, a lot of that ATL crunk
yeah, they
trap
definitely was
music
inspired by it.
that caused them to have their own sound, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, ever since they came out, as well as New York drill rap and stuff like that, ever since they started coming back into the scene 2023, I feel like people started like forgetting where all that stuff came from. And it came from the holding down the rap game for 20 some odd years,
That's a
bro.
long time.
That's a
So-
long time for a city to hold something down, especially a place where it wasn't even founded at.
No, at all. And then the thing is, they birthing artists like every 3 hours. Type
Yes.
shit. Like it's crazy, unnormal, and you cannot discredit that. You gotta give the South their credit. You gotta give that city their credit. You know what I'm saying? Because they birthed a lot of other cities to have that same mindset and expand. Even they goddamn turned Alabama up.
They did.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Atlanta and Georgia, period,
Real
because
shit, bro. They
they
turned
always
Alabama
help
up.
us out, man.
Yeah, real talk.
They
bro.
really
Like,
do, bro.
And then like Birmingham, I shout out to all the artists in Birmingham. Like,
sure.
you know, over the years they've been taking off and they really been recognized. You know what I'm saying? Been given their recognition from other A&Rs, record labels, and DJs. You know,
Right, that's right.
It's been record labels coming down here signing Alabama artists. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's been a lot of that happening.
You're
So you know, Alabama definitely have their own sound. I just wish that a lot of other artists in Alabama would see that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where we ever see that shit, but I just feel like they, you know, the city Birmingham got their own sound, but it won't. They're not clicking like
Right.
the artists and the people as a unit. they're not clicking on the same page. If they ever
Yeah.
click and really get on the same page, dog, they'll take over this country.
Exactly.
When this
I
music shit,
really
like,
do
for real.
believe so, man. And Memphis started paying more attention to what Atlanta was doing. They started realizing, yo, we got to put our own
They caught
people
on
on.
fast,
They caught
bro.
on fast,
They
bro.
caught on fast,
and now
bro.
look at Yo Gotti signing Glorilla, and then you got Moneybag Yo rocking with my guy over there, Finesse Two Times and
Two
stuff like that.
Times,
They
you know
said,
what I'm saying?
man, put all that stuff, that beef stuff to the side.
Yeah.
You know what I love about the South, bro? Like, growing up in the South as a child was fire. When you really think about it, growing
Nah,
up in
it
the
was.
South, it
Real
really
shit.
was.
I
Like,
wouldn't change it for the world.
We went to football games, with the
Like-
basketball games, you know, hanging out in the parking lots, having fun.
For hours.
Hours,
Like-
man. That family feel, you
Yeah.
can't get that anywhere outside the South. And that's the reason why the South is so supportive in the music industry, because it's a part of our culture to be supportive. Like, we grew up, you know, this is the Bible Belt. It is. But, you know, we learned a lot from the Bible Belt, even if, you know, some people grew up in the streets and in the hood, they remember their grandparents teaching them, you know, treat others as if you would have them do unto you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, learn how to let go and forgive. So a lot of the street shit that go on in the South, a lot of times people are willing to put that street stuff aside if they know they can come together and make more money.
Yeah.
Whereas outside the South, people don't really do that, man. People outside the South, if you don't rock with somebody, you know, outside the South, 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna be hating each other forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it's
usually
not
that
in their
beef don't-
culture.
Yeah, usually that beef don't stop.
Yeah.
You know, that shit kind of keep going. And that's the thing too I hate about that, because as of right now, the situation we're going through, like in hip hop culture, not personally, but in the hip hop culture, is just the damn big word, you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
biggest word in the room, you know, the elephant, snitching. And you know, a lot of people don't even know what the definition of snitching is. They're just going on and, you know what I'm saying, riding the train and just back riding people on snitching and just agreeing what they say. They really don't even know the real definition. A lot of people that's that call other people snitches, them motherfuckers never been in trouble. Like, motherfuckers ain't never been locked up, never been even rolled up in school. But they know what snitching is. And if that's the thing, like, you know, you got people just don't know, they're just following. You know. In your definition, what is snitching, bro?
Okay, so snitching is when you tell on a certain group of people or a person that is affiliated with whatever belief system that you have or organization that you're a part of, and you get a benefit from it, but the person you're telling on gets thrown under the bus. Like, let's say, you know, I'm with A group and you with B group. We don't rock with each other, right?
Right.
But at the same time, if I snitch on the B group just to put them under the rug and just to get us up, that's rat behavior. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like rat as in like you're ratting. It's rat behavior because it's, you know, that we both, A and B group, are associated with certain actions. You know, we both do similar things. It's just we're on one side of the fence of each other. We're not really rocking with each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you cross that line as far as snitching, it's like, bro, like, we are both doing similar stuff. Like, how are you going to tell on me knowing you doing the same stuff? You just trying to put me under the grave just so you can rise up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what snitching doesn't even have to deal with the streets. You know what I'm saying? It can deal with, you know, at the workplace. Like, you telling on somebody because they did something that you probably didn't like, but you're telling in hopes that you would probably get a promotion, or in hopes that that person would get fired and you know, rolled up, and you would get recognized for being the good, you know, Samaritan.
That's
of the
definitely
day.
rat behavior.
You know what I'm saying? That's rat behavior, and I feel like, you know, that's truly what snitching is. And I think the whole snitching thing started popping off again when, once again, the South wasn't really leading in the music industry. When other places started, you know, leading, and other places started having these situations where snitching started being involved, and then that's when we started looking back into snitching and saying, well, what is snitching? Like, what exactly does it mean? Like, That's what I'm saying. Like the South didn't give a damn about none of that shit.
Nah,
like even though
bro.
we started trap music and all this stuff like that, we knew what was going on the streets. But listen, like we focused on the music. We want to focus on having a good time. We want to motivate people. Like you listen to trap music from T.I. today, that shit'll make you work 24 hours.
I promise, bro.
with
I
no
promise,
sleep.
like,
Goddamn.
The trap music from then compared to now is, man. Now they ain't talking about shit.
Right.
Like the trap music nowadays, they just talking. They repeating the same thing 2.5 other artists are saying. So it doesn't resonate for real. With a real people, it doesn't resonate. But the trap music from the era of Jeezy, Gucci, T.I., they was painting a picture and a story in their music. So happened it related to trap music because that's where they came from. But they wasn't talking about, if you really listen to it, bro, they wasn't talking about always killing.
Right.
Even though they was talking about actions that was taken in the streets, but they was talking about getting money and how you can get money and what you need to do to get money. You know what I'm saying? You know, basically up off your ass and make some things happen and make some shit work. But they was doing it in a unique way.
In a unique way,
You know what I'm saying?
bro.
So,
and that's something that we've done over the years as the South, man. People got to realize, man, the South is pretty much the Black American motherland. If you really think about it. There would be no Black Midwest, or half of the time there would be no Harlem Renaissance had it not been from people from the South migrating to these cities.
Right.
There were not a lot of these organizations that are out nowadays. They were founded by Southerners, people who were moving from the South for a better life, and they end up going to this place where they didn't really have any money in the first place. So when you ain't got no money, what does that create? Crime. It creates all types of different stuff. These people came from the South, creating this stuff and making these cities what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you can hear some of the Southern inspiration in some of these cities out here. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to admit it. They want to
admit it. They do not want to admit it.
They want to brush it away.
Oh,
but when somebody from the South goes to their city, they quick to say, oh, let me hear you say that again. Let me hear you say that again. You know what I'm saying?
And I got that so much in school,
You
man.
got that shit?
Like a lot, bro. Like, you know, we went to school with all type of different demographics. Like, you know, from West Coast, East Coast, up north, you know, and they always, I say something just like how I'm talking now. You get like some women to walk up, or 2 or 3 women, they'll have their own conversation. And they'll be like, hold up. They're like, can you say that again?
Yeah.
And at first it's cool, but then you get this shit all the time.
You be like, man, I'm tired of y'all,
tired
man.
of this shit now. Like,
y'all
you know
gonna have to learn how to
like,
talk like this, goddamn. Like
the lingo is different. So with that being said, it's that our accent is very strong. So when people from up north get around us, it's very addictive.
Yeah.
The energy from the South is very addictive.
it is, man.
That's why, you know, like I know you got it when you went up there. They
Yeah.
gonna ask you to repeat stuff. Can you say it again? And that's love. I ain't gonna lie, that's love, real talk. You know, because they don't see that every day.
Exactly. I remember first time I went to Los Angeles, bro. Like I was on the beach or whatever in Huntington Beach, and I was just walking around. This little family-owned business had this, you know, little vendor going on the side of the beach and everything like that. And, you know, I'm just looking at this stuff, and, you know, they start talking to me and everything like that. And they were like, you just here out to visit and stuff like that. And I was like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And then they were like, you're so respectful.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's that too.
You know what I'm saying?
That's another
Like-
episode too, bro. Like the respect level is crazy. Like it's so it's normal to us. It's natural to us. But like up north, man, like a lot of people is not respectable in other cities and states, bro. Like
Somebody bump into you, they're not going to say excuse me.
and they keep going.
They keep going,
Like,
man.
Southern hospitality is very strong in the South, and and that's why I appreciate, bro. Like, cause you've been on fault. Everybody you got damn run into when you leave out, you know what I'm saying? Go up north.
Exactly,
Like, you really would get into it with these motherfuckers.
I see why New Yorkers be so dang angry
Like-
because they ain't got no Southern hospitality. They ain't,
Real shit, like-
used to, saying hey to each other. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. And it's not about, talking to people as if you're a slave. It's about automatically giving respect, letting you know off the rip, hey, bro, I got a general respect for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you cross that line, the Second Amendment rights down here in the South, we really believe in that shit.
Yeah.
But we want to show you that,
really
hey,
believe in that shit.
we got a certain respect for you in the beginning. We're not going to keep calling you sir and yes ma'am and no sir, but at least like, hey, yo, man, I already established my chessboard right here.
Right.
You make your move now. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that type of stuff right there. Sadly, though, in 2023, I'm looking at a lot of the younger generation. The Southern culture is starting to die out.
It is.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Atlanta ain't the same city I once knew before 2019. Like, you got niggas from Atlanta calling people country when they were called country for years. You know what I'm saying?
Decades ago.
You know, and the accent is starting to slowly go away in a lot of southern cities. You know,
It's so many other damn people coming into the South, bro. Like, you got foreigners coming in, just everybody coming in, really fucking up the culture.
They are.
And I'm be honest about that too. Like, from all cities, from all over the country, they moving to Atlanta, or they moving to Texas, or they moving to Florida. They ain't really hit Alabama like that yet, but they moving in, and they messing up the damn culture. They messing up shit. Even goddamn causing crime to rise.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like the New Orleans situation, you know, I hate that happened to them with the Katrina. But man, Atlanta was on goddamn fire for a minute. Like, it was killings going on every 10 minutes, bro. Like, it was outrageous. And you know, and they really raised the murder capital in Atlanta when that happened. But to say this, like, we can't tell them they can't come in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like we gotta be mindful of when we stood on codes, we had codes and ethics.
Right.
And we had principles to live by. That wouldn't happen. Like, if this would have happened kind of like, let's say 7 years ago, I don't think the culture would change as bad as it has now. But so much has changed because as they moving in, we don't have no principles we standing on. So everybody changing our culture. They doing what they want to do. They making how much money they want to make. They come into our communities and just goddamn treating us any kind of way, taking all our money, all the resources, and just not even giving us crumbs, but just taking their hands off like, shit, y'all get it how y'all live.
But then they move to the South and say, man, I hate it down here. It's so slow. It's so hot. All the bugs.
But they rushing to
Oh
this
my
motherfucker,
God,
like,
I can't believe people move so slow here.
they rushing,
I'm just like, bro, come on, bro. Like, this is how we are down here. But at the same time, it's cool to progress. I love progression. I'm all about progression. I'm not some type of person who wants to live in the 1950s and 60s and stuff like that. I'm all for progression. But at the same time, just keep some of the good things that we have down here intact to where you know where you're at. Because when we move to your city and your region, you're not going to change the way your culture is for us.
not at all.
So don't try to come down here trying to change what we got going on, because we've been doing a lot of great things down here. We've been making money how we make money down here for many, many years. And you know, at the end of the day, man, they love that lingo.
Oh, yeah.
That main, that fi, good. We don't say girl down here. We say good. That's your good.
It's a difference.
You know, they love jit. They love all of that, you know, collard greens, fried chicken with the catfish, the
Real
kiki
soul
poo,
food.
Cajun ranch fries, hot lemon pepper, wet. Man, they don't know nothing about that outside the South.
We can go on, man.
We can go on and on all day,
We can
man.
go on, man. Man, we shots out. I said we shots. I don't know why the fuck I be saying that. Shots out everybody who locked in with us, man. Polar Joqs, and we gonna title this. You know, South got something to say. That's how we gonna title it. But I need y'all to stay locked in with us and subscribe to our channel. You already know what's going on, man. We got more content coming at you. Also, we are now accepting advertisings and ads. We are accepting ads. You know what I'm saying? So if you want us to come out and do a commercial for you all, contact us, DM, or give us a call, and we'll make that happen. Q, what's happening?
Yeah, man. Be sure to contact us. We got a lot of great stuff going on. Man, I go to gas stations a lot, and I see a lot of women out here pumping gas by themselves, or they're pumping gas in this hot ass weather, feeling sweaty and sticky and stuff, while their man, quote unquote, is in the passenger seat in the cool AC texting and scamming and all this crazy stuff.
Everywhere.
And it's starting to become an epidemic, right? Yeah. So I'm calling all the young men from high school or even in college, man. We're looking for a couple of young men who are willing to help us go to different gas stations in the city of Birmingham. And if we find a lady out here pumping gas on their own, we're going to offer them to pump gas for them. That way they don't have to feel like they're putting in too much work. And letting them know that there are still some great young men out here who are leading the culture in the right way. So if you feel like you are willing to do something like that, be sure to hit us in our DM on social media at Polar Joqs, or even on YouTube or any social media platform that we're on.
Yep.
That way we can go ahead and get this ice-breaking movement moving, baby.
Well said, man. It's Polar Joqs, and